Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer of the Power BI January 2026 feature summary. Let me tell you, this month's update, it's absolutely packed with an incredible amount of scale and functionality. If there's an overarching theme here, it's all about, well, removing friction, making your everyday analytics way easier and ensuring all your tools are way more connected. So let's just dive right in and see exactly how these updates are going to change the way we build reports. Right off the bat, we've got this great quote from the summary's author, Katie Murray, which really captures the whole spirit of what we're looking at today. She says, Power BI is making analytics easier to use, helping you work more efficiently, and connecting all your tools even better than before. And honestly, that hits the nail on the head. Microsoft is putting a massive focus on the creator's journey right now. Whether you're, deep in the weeds writing complex DAX measures or just trying to grab a quick AI-generated insight, the goal is for the platform to just get out of your way and let you work. And wow, clearly the community is just as hyped about these workflow improvements as we are. Shortly after this summary dropped, it racked up over 12,100 views on the Microsoft Fabric community blog. That is a massive amount of immediate engagement. It really tells us that these updates are super anticipated and honestly just incredibly relevant to what data professionals need right this second. Okay, so here's our agenda for today. First, we'll look at how AI and Copilot evolve. Second, smarter reporting and visuals. Third, modeling and developer updates. And finally, number 4, deprecations and upcoming events. All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, AI and Copilot evolve. So the absolute biggest change here is the introduction of a standalone Copilot entry point right there on the Power BI homepage. I mean, think about the natural start to your day, right? You log in and boom, Copilot is just sitting there ready to help you generate insights before you even click into a specific report. It's a total game changer for getting new users up to speed. Now, this is going to automatically pop up if your admin has enabled it and you've got a valid Copilot capacity. But hey, if you're kind of missing the old layout, no worries. You can easily toggle right back to the classic recommended content view whenever you want. Oh, and for those of you always on the go, the Power BI mobile app now actually lets you attach specific reports or semantic models directly into your Copilot chat, so its answers are perfectly grounded in your actual data. Now, if you want Copilot to give you the absolute best answers, you've got to make sure your semantic models are configured properly. And this brings us to a really crucial update in terminology, approved for Copilot. You might remember this being called prepped for AI, but this isn't just some quick cosmetic rebrand. When you apply the specific label, you are unlocking some serious functionality. It completely removes friction from Copilot's answers, it massively boosts your model's visibility in Copilot's search results, and it even allows tenant admins to filter experiences, making sure users only see the approved stuff. Want to get this set up? Well, the process is incredibly straightforward, literally just 4 steps. First, navigate to your semantic model in the Power BI service. Second, hit that settings icon up in the top left. Third, expand the new Approved Copilot section. And fourth, just check the box and hit Apply. That's the whole shebang, a super quick way to ensure your data is totally primed and prioritized for this new AI era. Moving right along, let's dive into Section 2, Smarter Reporting and Visuals. Okay, this one actually solves a huge headache for a lot of report builders. So back in July 2025, there was an update that kind of messed with how Matrix Visuals handled field parameters. Basically, it would often fully collapse your matrix the second you changed a parameter. Well, you spoke, and Microsoft definitely listened. You now have a report level toggle for persist hierarchy level. So if you leave it on, which is the new default, your hierarchy magically stays expanded when you switch those parameters. But if you turn it off, the matrix collapses, taking you right back to that familiar pre-July workflow. So yeah, you finally got total control of your matrix behaviors again. And speaking of feedback-driven improvements, check out this update to column sizing. Before this, tables and matrices would just automatically stretch out to fill whatever visual space was available, which, let's be real, meant a tiny little column like year might stretch halfway across your screen, just wasting all that valuable real estate. But starting with this release, columns are actually sized by default based on their actual content, which means you get these much cleaner, more compact, and super readable layouts right out of the gate without having to spend 10 minutes manually dragging column borders around. Huge time saver. We're also seeing a whole bunch of rapid-fire usability tweaks that are honestly going to save us so much time. For starters, the Format Panes color picker now gives you a crystal clear indicator of your selected theme colors. And it even includes a super handy back button so you can easily jump back to them from your custom colors. You also get these really granular reset options now, so you can reset a specific formatting group without accidentally wiping out the design for that entire section. Oh, and modern visual tooltips are officially generally available. And the best part? You can actually execute drill down, drill up, or drill through actions directly from the footer of the Hover tooltip. Literally, no more right-clicking required. How cool is that? To round out all these visual updates, the broader design ecosystem is getting some really fantastic additions too. Azure Maps now supports customized markers. This means you can ditch the basic shapes and replace them with actual icons, like, say, trucks or warehouses, and even scale them dynamically based on your data volume. We've also got some incredible third-party certified visuals. The PowerViz funnel chart is packing 4 chart types into one, complete with one-click conversion rate tracking to help you instantly spot bottlenecks. And then there's BS Samurai's Nebula, which is just this brilliant, lightweight tool for creating structured, consistent backgrounds and layouts directly inside Power BI. You don't even need an external design tool anymore. All right, let's shift gears a bit. Section 3, Modeling and Developer Updates. First up in this section is a really nice quality of life improvement that builds on something introduced late last year. You can now seamlessly open and edit semantic models that are configured with incremental refresh entirely within the Power BI service web experience. This is great because it removes a major roadblock that used to lock those models out of web-based editing. No more dealing with the hassle of constantly downloading and re-uploading a file just to make one quick tweak. Next up is a highly specific but absolutely crucial compliance update involving the Chinese-coded character set standard GB 18030-2022. Now, this standard is a strict regulatory requirement if your organization operates in or does business with China. To support this, Power BI added a new XMLA property called Unicode Character Behavior. As you can see, the default code units behavior calculates a complex Unicode character as having a DAX string length of 2. But if you switch that to code points, that exact same character is calculated with a length of 1. So if you're using DAX text functions like len, left, or right in a multilingual environment, you definitely need to know how this setting is going to impact your calculations to stay compliant. Okay, let's look at how all of this is building toward the future of report creation. The Power BI Enhanced Report Format, or PBIR, is steadily marching toward becoming the sole supported format. We've got a really clear visual runway here. It was announced late last year. It's actually rolling out by default in the service right now in February. It's slated to become the desktop default next month in March, and the target for general availability is Q3 of this year. So for all you developers out there, this is definitely your cue. Start testing and prepping your files for this format transition right now, well before that final GA milestone hits. And that brings us to our final leg, Section 4, Deprecations and Upcoming Events. Let's take a quick look at some important deadlines that admins really need to start planning for. First off, the SSRS SharePoint web part, which is what you'd use to embed on-prem paginated reports into SharePoint, is reaching its end of support pretty soon, on April 13th, 2026. After that, the component just completely stops getting updates. Looking a little further out, the legacy Power BI Q&A natural language tool is officially being deprecated in December 2026. The strong recommendation here is to start migrating those specific user behaviors over to the much more powerful Power BI Copilot, ideally way before the end of the year. And finally, let's step out of the digital world and into the physical one. The 3rd annual FabCon Americas is taking place in Atlanta this coming March, from the 16th to the 20th. It is literally the ultimate community-led event for Fabric, Power BI, SQL, and AI. If you're planning to go, to network, walk the expo hall, or maybe corner some experts with your toughest questions, we've got some good news. You can actually score a massive $200 discount on your registration. All you have to do is use the code FABCOM when you sign up. So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a question to chew on. Could you be the next Power BI Data Viz World Champion? The weekly challenges are going on right now, and they are seriously designed to push your visualization skills to the absolute limit. They're going to select 4 finalists to compete live on stage at FabCon Atlanta. Whether you're actually planning to compete or you just want to take advantage of all these incredible updates we just talked about, it is so clear that the Power BI ecosystem is moving faster than ever. So what new feature are you going to try out in your reports today? Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and as always, keep learning.